I always thought I knew my wife, really knew her. I mean, we've been married for 12 years, and for the most part, we've had a stable life. My name is Garrett, I'm 39, and my wife, Eliza, has been the center of my world for as long as I can remember. She's funny, intelligent, and has a warmth that drew me in from the very first time we met at a friend's dinner party in Boston. I wouldn't call myself overly emotional, but I am attentive, and I pride myself on noticing the small details that make a person feel loved. Over the years, I've tried to be the kind of husband who shows up, supportive, present, reliable. But lately, things have felt different. There was a distance I couldn't quite name, subtle signs that something had shifted between us, but I brushed it off. Maybe she was stressed. Maybe work had gotten heavier. Maybe it was just the normal ebb and flow of marriage.
Eliza had planned what she called a solo trip. She said she needed some space, some time to herself, to recharge. I thought it was a good idea. I encouraged it, even offered to help pack and organize the kids for the weekend. I've always believed that giving someone freedom doesn't weaken a relationship, it strengthens it. But something in the back of my mind nagged at me. I can't explain why. It wasn't paranoia, just a subtle unease that I chose to ignore. I told myself I was overthinking. I dropped the kids off at her friend's house early Saturday morning and waved goodbye, convinced she'd enjoy some quiet time for herself. That night, she called briefly, cheerful and bright, telling me everything was fine. I hung up, reassured, or at least trying to be. The next morning, Saturday, I woke early. I had errands, groceries to pick up, and a few things to fix around the house. Everything was routine, normal, calm. Around midday, a thought crossed my mind. What if I surprised her? The kids and I could swing by the place she was staying. It would be fun, spontaneous. She'd be thrilled to see us. I told myself it was innocent. A gesture of love. Nothing more. I called her briefly to check the address, smiled when she laughed on the phone, and told her we'd be there in a couple of hours. She seemed happy. Excited, even. That's when I started packing snacks and gathering the kids' things, envisioning a joyful surprise that would turn into laughter and hugs. I could almost see it, Eliza's face lighting up when she saw us standing at the doorstep. That image carried me all the way to the car. We arrived mid-afternoon. I parked a little distance from the cabin she had rented, trying to approach quietly, hoping to catch her off guard with smiles and cheers. My heart was light, my thoughts filled with excitement. I opened the car doors, letting the kids tumble out, chattering, carrying small backpacks with their snacks. The path to the cabin was quiet, almost serene. I laughed softly at how small and contained the space felt, imagining the warm reunion that was about to unfold. The front door was slightly ajar, which struck me as odd. Normally, she'd lock it. I stepped forward, hand reaching for the doorknob, telling myself she'd be delighted. Maybe the kids had already started exploring inside. Maybe she was in the kitchen making drinks. Maybe everything was just as I pictured. I opened the door, and then I saw it. Not the happy, chaotic energy of my family greeting Eliza. Not the laughter I had imagined. Instead, the room was quiet, too quiet. I saw her immediately, but she wasn't alone. A man I didn't recognize was sitting on the couch, close to her. Not a casual greeting, not a friendly hug. The way he leaned in, the way she smiled, like a shared joke no one else could hear. It was intimate, far too intimate to be innocent. My chest tightened instantly, every muscle going rigid. I froze for a moment, trying to process. My mind raced. This had to be a mistake, some misunderstanding. Maybe a friend, maybe a colleague. But the expression on her face, the softness, the warmth directed entirely at him, told me otherwise. She didn't even notice us entering. She was wrapped up in him, absorbed, distant from the world. My heart sank in a way I had never experienced. Pain, confusion, betrayal. 1,000 thoughts collided at once. I looked at the kids, standing at the doorway, unaware, playful, innocent. Their joy contrasted so sharply with the scene unfolding in front of me. The contrast was jarring, unbearable. I didn't say anything. I didn't move. I just watched. The man kissed her lightly on the cheek, and she laughed in a way that used to be reserved for me. My vision blurred. I felt smaller, invisible in my own home, or rather, in what I had thought was our shared world. I could feel my hands shaking slightly, not from anger, but from a deep, hollow ache. The betrayal was complete. This wasn't a fleeting glance, a harmless misunderstanding. This was a truth laid bare, undeniable. and I had walked right into it. The realization hit me in waves. Not the loud, cinematic kind, but slow, sinking, unrelenting. Every memory of loyalty, of late nights, of sacrifices I had made, replayed in sharp relief. And now, they were meaningless. For a moment, I considered confronting her. But I knew myself. I wasn't going to beg. I wasn't going to yell. That wasn't me. That would only give her the power to dismiss me further. I had to stay calm, steady. I had to regain my dignity. Instead, I turned quietly, guiding the kids back toward the car, trying not to let them see the confusion and hurt written across my face. Their laughter, their chatter, it was almost a cruel juxtaposition to the betrayal I was witnessing. We left the cabin grounds without saying a word, my mind numb, my chest heavy. The drive home was silent. The kids, oblivious, played quietly in the back seat. I stared straight ahead, gripping the steering wheel, forcing myself to breathe. I had never felt so alone, yet surrounded by the people I loved most. The contrast was brutal. That evening, at home, I tried to make sense of everything. I replayed the day, the moments, the expressions, the laughter that wasn't mine. I realized something fundamental. I had been trying to hold on to a marriage that no longer existed in the way I believed it did. She had created a world that no longer included me, a life that had a void where I should have been. It wasn't sudden. It had been building for months, subtle, quiet. But now it was undeniable. I felt anger, yes, but deeper than that was clarity. A hard, piercing clarity that allowed me to see my next steps without confusion or hesitation. I wasn't going to react impulsively. I wasn't going to create drama. I wasn't going to lose myself in resentment or revenge. I had to act with integrity for myself, for my children, for the life I still wanted to live. I spent the night reflecting, long into the darkness, letting the realization settle. I knew I had to have a conversation with her. Yes, but not immediately, not in the heat of raw emotion. I had to plan carefully, calmly, methodically. I had to protect my heart and theirs. And as I lay awake, I understood something profound. The betrayal didn't diminish my value. It didn't make me weak. It didn't erase the love I had given or the effort I had made. It only revealed the choices she had made and the world she had created for herself. That was not my responsibility, nor my burden to carry any longer. I felt a strange mixture of grief and relief, like the weight of illusion lifting, revealing truth. It was painful, yes, but it was freeing. I realized that moving forward required acceptance, clarity, and calm resolve. I had walked into the scene of betrayal, yes, but I also walked out with my dignity intact, with my children safe, and with the knowledge that my life, my love, and my worth were still my own. By Sunday morning, I had spoken to a close friend, shared the day's events in quiet detail, and begun to make arrangements for a conversation with Eliza. No shouting, no confrontation, no chaos. Just facts, boundaries, and a calm, measured approach to reclaiming my life. The realization hit me fully. Sometimes, love ends not with an explosion, but with quiet truth. And that truth, painful as it is, can be the foundation for clarity, dignity, and a new beginning. I wasn't running, I wasn't hiding, and I wasn't defeated. I was just finally seeing clearly.